The Bible tells us that we will face all kinds of stuff. In fact, Jesus promises us hardships and struggles. Now, it also explains that we will only face the troubles that are common to us. There's no new problems. So let me just go ahead and explain all of life to you real quick. You run your own life. You are in charge of yourself. And you will make a god of something. Whether it's money, power, whatever. You will make a god of something. And you will, in fact, protect it. The image, the pursuit of what you're after will be your top pursuit. And even then, you could get lost in the sauce trying to imagine all these other things that are going to bring you fulfillment from your false god, but it won't work. You're going to keep just running ragged. And you're going to go so hard that you are just going to fall right out. You're going to just tear yourself up going that hard. And the worst part about all of it is you're still going to seek validation from those around you, especially your mother and father. Even if they were terrible, you're still going to want them to appreciate all that you've done. And in this life, you are going to be so angry, you are going to be so upset that you're going to see horrible things happen and you're not even going to care. You're just going to let it slide. In fact, you might even say that you saw nothing, or that there was no person there, or that some other such thing. Then it gets worse. Life will be so hard that you might be in the break room looking at somebody else's sandwiches thinking to yourself, man, I'm hungry and I want that. And it's terrible. And speaking of that, I know, no one believes in things like herpes simplex virus or HIV or syphilis or gonorrhea. Or at least they don't think they'll ever happen to them or they'll ever be a problem for them. But this ungratefulness, selfishness of self-satisfaction, this lack of maturity into your adulthood, this multi-relationship problem that you're going to go through is going to suck. And it's all because you're going to be looking around thinking that somebody else has something that you want, affecting your imagination about how you're doing. Now, obviously, God's already come through this and explained it all to you and made things clear. The I am the Lord thy God. This takes care of that problem. Instead of trying to be the force in your own life, all you got to do is trust in his steps. You should have and will put no other God before God. You're going to feel like it, though. You're going to not want to pray. You're going to want to sleep through church. You're going to want to not go out on missions and doing ministry work. You're going to fight that. But God says, just let me be the Lord of your life. And you will try to put all these other false images, like the obvious and then the less obvious. Still making a god of money when you should be working on the missions. You're not trying to go on the mission trip, you're trying to get money. Or maybe you're looking for some clout. You're not really praying. You just want everybody to hear you pray. And God spoke about that, or Jesus spoke about that. And here, this one should be obvious, but most people don't get it. We were ordered by God Almighty in the fourth commandment, the fourth, to rest. This is before kill. We need rest. at least one day a week, or we will destroy our bodies. This is like totally known science. And then down here, where we step into psychology, we run into some real serious problems because sometimes moms and dads suck. Sometimes they're not good people. And why we still care about them, why their validation still matters, it's just how it is. It's in our psyche to do so. Now, when we go over here, God's already told us that we are going to get angry. We are going to have problems. People are going to come against us. But we have to trust in the law. And when it comes time for punishments, we have to let the law work. We have to be swift to justice, or the hearts of the youths will be forever set on evil. Furthermore, if you can't be trusted, if you just say whatever flippantly, no one's going to take you seriously. Even if you're like, oh yeah, I got one of those at the house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, with a fishing buddy, and he's like, oh, I got this new pop bug. It's really cool. Oh, I got one of those at the house. You know, you're just lying. And some people take it a lot further. And these can be little tiny lies all the way up to massive, massive lies. But they're fake. They show through. They make you look stupid and ruin your whole reputation. Same with stealing. You will take food out of somebody else's mouth and put it in your own long before you go get your own food to make your own way. Well, you wind up right back over here facing the scales of justice on what you did. Did you steal $10 billion that caused a bunch of elderly people to die? Or did you just steal some food out of the fridge at work, causing a coworker to be hungry that day? It's wrong. It was never yours. And it's not that hard to figure it out. With adultery, that's pretty straightforward. You got people making eyes at each other, and you've got this emotional crap. What do they call that? Anyway, it's still cheating. You have a husband or a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, and you're still over there getting your emotions fulfilled from somebody else. There are all different shades of this adultery business, all kinds of problems there that people just don't want to think about, don't want to discuss. They want to act like it's okay, but it's not. This has to be protected. Your marriage has to be protected from adultery. And we'll get into that more later. Covetousness. Wanting other people's stuff. You just see all this stuff, just stuff everywhere. Cars, houses, bags, clothes, other people's workout equipment, other people's everything. Just all this stuff. And you have to remember that you can go get it on your own. You don't need to be looking over your fence and think to yourself, man, my neighbor has got one really cool lawnmower and I kind of want it. And then be looking at it like you could go over there and take that from them and it would be okay. But it's not. You're never thinking about, maybe I should get my own lawnmower. Maybe something with a 0 turn on it. Maybe something better. Maybe something smaller. But desiring that which is not yours winds up working through all these things. Now, fellas, as I have made it clear on this board, these are your problems. These are a woman's problems. As a man, you will struggle. You will struggle to make God your number one priority. You will constantly try to put other things in front of him, acting like you're going to do that. You've got to overcome this. Men are really bad about that. I've got to go to my career. I've got to make my money. I've got to do all these things before I can go to church, before I can pray, before I can read my Bible. And that's not the case. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You will not make any graven images. And this one right here, my favorite, no fellas do this. How many of y'all get 3 hours of sleep all the time? Maybe 5 hours, just to be generous, right? And it's killing you. It's going to put you in a grave. You know it is. It looks bad on you too. And last but not least, making sure that you are, even if your parents suck, someone your parents can be proud of. This is what you're going to struggle with mostly as a man. Wanting to have this clout from your small group. Wanting to really impress your small group. This is what you're going to face. Women? I don't think we have to go too deep into how that affects with women mostly. I mean, maybe we do. Maybe I need to explain that medical care is not being able to kill whatever you want whenever you want it. We'll just leave that there. And we all know about women and gossip and how they like to say the words, you know. I missed an N. And had to. Bunch of psychic talk. It sounds good, but it's still in this lie box right here. And sometimes, you know, this massive weirdness, or maybe it's a little bitty had to that leads to the lie. But you can't be bearing false witness. If you don't know, you don't know. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. That's why God required 2 witnesses before the death penalty could be used. Like a video and a victim could be enough to condemn somebody. And stealing. Ladies, I don't know what it is with y'all, but y'all are some shoplifting thieves. I don't get it. Maybe that little bag means so much to you that you just have to get that purse because of whatever. And I get it. Like, you covet. You see what other people have. You feel like that because you're of a certain age that you should be somewhere in life. And y'all, sometimes, not always, but y'all just pick up little bitty things. Just little bitty things that you think, hey, it's nothing big deal. It's just a candle. I mean, it's only $5 and I wanted it. But that's not right. That little candle turns into a massive problem. A fire burning inside you of regret, self-justification, and all that because you just had to have something because covetousness got at you. Adultery? Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies. Come on now. You want to say men are dogs, but the statistics are coming out now. People aren't keeping y'all secrets. You're not getting gentlemen to keep quiet anymore. They're talking, and we're finding out some things. Plus, I mean, with social media, y'all are just blabbing. So, But yeah, this is more y'all's problem. You say that he's emotionally cheating on you, but you emotionally bailed beforehand. Y'all are notorious for that 6-month thing, where for 6 months ahead of time, y'all will behave perfectly well, knowing that that's the type of woman he wanted to be with, giving him all the things he wanted, acting the way you thought he wanted you to, and then you just split on him, proving that you knew what he wanted, but you never wanted to give it up in the first place. You were never really in an adult relationship. It was always about you. And covetousness, ladies, y'all are the gatherers of the species, and I get it. Seeing somebody over there with their new thing, you want it. And all these stores like Barno beads and crapo stuff full of junk and knickknacks. Y'all love that Y'all love it so much. And there's nothing wrong with that, decorating your home, coming up with all that stuff. But when you start looking and start saying, no, 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 no. It's not that I want a new, I don't know, sofa. That's not what I want. I want that exact sofa that Susan has with the nice chairs and the kick-out feet thing. It's so nice. It has to be that one. And we see that. We see that a lot. Period. Okay, so fellas, we can go in on this anytime you want. We can get deep. We can discuss it. Just hit me up. We can go through the problems you're facing. And yes, this applies to you too, fellas. And ladies, this applies to you too. But I'm pretty sure God could have figured out how to write on the back, and he didn't need 2 pieces of stone specifically unless he was making a point, unless he was emphasizing something, that there was something separate and different. And lots of preachers go into this, how even though it flows this way, because of the heart of the person, it actually flows this way. It starts with covetousness in the heart. It starts with not making God first. This circuit of problems that we can all avoid with just 10 simple rules. And in fact, Jesus made it so much easier by just giving us one more. To love your neighbor as yourself. If you love and fear God, you will keep all of these other commandments. If you genuinely love somebody, you're not going to take their food. Anyway, that's the video. We can go deeper.